Blog Talk Radio.
There. Good morning, South Dakota.
Warning. What you are about to hear are the views of Travis Pope and the Oklahoma Tomcat and is not supported by the government. Agreeing with the hosts of this show could cause you to be targeted by the government and government agencies. You have been warned.
Do we have Travis back yet?
I'm trying to be here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry about that mess up. We're having trouble at the studio this morning. But now, good morning, South Dakota.
Good, morning. You mean good afternoon?
Good afternoon. That's right. Today's Monday.
Yeah, good afternoon, Colorado.
Oh, man. It took over 3.5 hours to get loaded. I am tired now.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm trying to wake up, at least for another 90 miles, and then I'll be shut down for the night.
Yeah. I'm sitting over here trying to get back on get my Bluetooth connected to the computer.
Is that what the problem was?
No, my headset. Hold on a second. My headset don't want to. My phone don't want to call in and connect to the. I'm going to try to do a little trick here.
Is that you, or it must be me that's breaking up?
It's probably me. Hold on. Let me see if I can't get this thing switched over. But go ahead. Go ahead and continue chatting. Let me get this thing fixed.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. As usual on Mondays, our Miss Producer is not on the show today, so you're gifted with just Travis and myself doing the show, and we've got a we've got a what's that? That's that squeaking sound.
Hold on. All right, how's that?
All right, much better.
All right, I had to throw the host into silence room, into the screening room by themselves, so I could call in on my phone. Because I can call in directly with my phone from the normal line that we always call in,
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's not letting me call into the host line. I call into the host line and then punch in the PIN number, and it says that it's not picking up my PIN. So, but then when I'm trying to dial in from the computer, I have too much background noise. So I threw the Liberty National Network into the screening room and called our regular number in on our guest show. So here I am. It's probably all the pot smoking going on in Colorado. You know, they don't know how to do their towers. They don't know how to do their towers right.
Nah. I'm blaming it on Trump.
Trump?
Yeah. It sounds like some Trump. That sounds like a mess up he did.
Yeah, I would.
Probably the weather or something, Probably the weather, backing out of the Paris Accord or something. Messing up the towers.
Has to be. But I just called in and I have even if it disconnects from the computer, we'll still be on the live show, so I ain't worried about that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was still on, even though you guys are connected.
Yeah, as long as I have control of the studio, the show will go on, even without.
All right. Feel sorry for the host though, being in that green room all by herself.
Yeah.
I think you're mean.
Yeah, I am. Well, if anybody ever goes into the screen, if they ever call in, I can just flip them over to the screening room and they can just listen to me talk. Yeah, today's been a crazy day. I got loaded pretty quick. I'll probably be in Oklahoma City tomorrow, and I tried to call my other co-host earlier to run some things for him, but he ignored my call instead of answering it.
Nah, you were in the truck while I was securing that. I was back there watching the customer load the truck and get the forklift all stuck and everything.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they were loading the flatbed like a dry van. I was the only flatbed there.
Well, ain't you the special one?
I know. Stealing a dry van load.
Yeah, well, it's our crazy Mondays. Mondays are always crazy. I got stopped here at this truck stop here in Colorado 10 minutes before the show because I knew you was gonna be driving. So I put it on this truck stop to get here, and I made it here, which that only leaves me about 8.5 hours tomorrow driving before I get back down there. Me and you both are. We don't like driving at night, and we don't like driving too late, or we can't ever find a parking place. So I was able to. There's a lot of background coming in on you.
Probably because I'm driving.
You're not using your regular Bluetooth.
No, son, I haven't still found that yet.
You still haven't. How can you lose it in a little 5x5 cell that we live in?
Probably because I didn't take it off inside the truck.
Oh no, you took it off inside of a store, didn't you?
Yeah, probably.
Yep. Well, that's not smart.
Well, that's why I don't like wearing them, is because they're so annoying to have on your head all the time.
Yeah.
I don't like walking around with them.
Well, why'd you take it in the first place? Oh, you must have been talking to the missus, so you had to take it in.
Well, either her or I was talking to you.
Well, you never do that. You always leave me in the vehicle.
Nope. There's been times I told you I'm putting you on mute because I'm going somewhere.
Oh, so you left.
That's when I have you in the truck. That's when I have you in the store.
Oh. Great. Well, we got a few things to talk about today, and I plan on running something by you later on to see if we can start doing it and add it to our show.
Okay.
Heck, what better now than right now? So that way the audience can see how we do things, how we get things set up. What do you think about dedicating part of our show strictly to libertarian news?
All right.
You're like, uh-oh, what am I getting myself into? No, what I'm referring to is like libertarian events, libertarian news. We give a lot of our opinions about libertarian opinions on actions going on today. Like for instance, Larry Sharp had was at a kind of like a town hall meeting this weekend. Start doing like announcements and stuff like that.
Oh, okay,
So
that's a good thing.
You see, things that's kind of like today in
announcements and events.
Today in libertarian politics or something like that. That's something we can talk about. I started thinking about that because I noticed that up in New Hampshire, guess what they happened in New Hampshire?
What?
In one night, 13 libertarians won primaries this weekend.
Wow.
In New Hampshire. Let me see if I can pull that article back up here. News. Let's see.
Be good if they get more libertarians in and get rid of that property tax they have. That's the only thing to prevent me from moving there.
Yeah, it says libertarian student activists win 13 New Hampshire primary races in one night. This was published on September 14th. It says last month, Libertarian activist group announced their involvement in 16 New Hampshire state house elections. On Tuesday night, 13 of the 16 candidates they supported won their primaries. This will be an evening that I will never forget, said Cliff Maloney, president of Young Americans for Liberty on Facebook. We launched Operation Win at the Door this year as a bunch of ragtag kids trying to fix America's woes and restore true freedom. Tonight we bring our win count to 21 wins, with 13 wins in New Hampshire this evening. Operation Win at the Door, a project of Y'all, now touts 21 total wins since launching in May and plans to drastically upscale their efforts. Y'all is on track to endorse a total of 50 candidates for state legislative races in 2018 and knock on over 1 million doors. Y'all said the press release, ultimately their goal is to build a bench of liberty legislators and give a microphone to the principles of limited government. Y'all's aim to elect 250 Liberty state legislators by the end of 2022 cycle. Candidates must go through an extensive vetting process before they are chosen by y'all endorsement. Just to apply, individuals must first fill out a questionnaire to explain their position on issues ranging from taxes to the legality of red light cameras. The goal of the survey is to filter through candidates, finding people who will remain ideologically consistent after they win office. Every Operation Win at the Door race that y'all mobilizes door knockers for is an opportunity to send principled, liberty-minded individuals to state legislators across the country. The press release stated every candidate we endorse and deploy for is slated to become a champion for our ideals in every chamber they enter. We are building the future bench of liberty candidates for federal office. And that's just in New Hampshire.
That's great. Yeah, New Hampshire, it has, that's a state that has a lot of liberty and also has pretty low tax. The only problem with them is their property tax is way, way up there.
Yeah.
But overall, their taxes are pretty low.
Yeah. And I like how they're 13 libertarians have won the primary in that state.
Yeah.
That's a good start right there. 13 out of
yeah.
Yeah. What was it? 13 out of 16?
I don't know, but having 13 running in the first place is pretty high.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, 13 out of 16 candidates they supported won their primaries. I mean,
yeah,
that's a good turnout right there.
Yeah. Now hopefully they'll do good in the general.
Yeah, Well, these are all local.
That'd be the real
people.
test.
Yeah, these are all local, so a lot of times there's not a lot of fighting the locals. Sometimes there is, sometimes there's not. New Hampshire is not very big, so I don't think there will be a lot of fight against the local elections. But if they get them 13 people into the candidates, 13 out of the 16 candidates in there, we might be seeing New Hampshire here be the libertarian state of the United States here.
Yep.
Start actually moving libertarian ideas.
Yeah. Oh, that would be the state to do it. I mean, because on that list of the freest state, New Hampshire was up there. So I mean, it's like I said, the big push. I don't know where what their local elections look like as far as which party generally wins up there, but that'll be the thing to miss. I mean, to beat is getting the people away from the Republicans and Democrats.
Yeah, very well. But just for the 13 winning, that shows a lot of and this is all.
A lot of libertarians running. That's good.
Yeah, since May. This has started since May.
Yeah.
That's a good outcome since May.
Yeah.
You know. So, So that's what I said. It's something to keep an eye on. I tell you that.
Yeah.
See how that turns out. So besides that, there's a lot of news in the libertarian outfit. One good thing is our stocks are up.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Yep, all of mine went up, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But we got to remember that Obama. We got to credit Obama for that. Well, there is something we can blame Obama for. And that is the FDA wanting to take more control over vaping.
Oh yeah, I got some sound clips to play on the next half. We got 5 minutes left before our deal, but yeah.
Oh wow! Already?
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and. Go ahead. What were you getting ready to say?
Well, I was going to talk about a little bit about more libertarian news. Arizona says for the first time in more than 2 decades, Arizonans won't have the option to vote for a Libertarian Party candidate for governor. Republican lawmakers passed a law in effect for the first time in a statewide race, makes it much harder for candidates of recognized minor parties to actually get their names on the general election ballot, whether through petitions or write-in votes. supporters of that 2015 law, all Republicans made no secret at the time they were doing that out of fear that libertarians were siphoning off votes that otherwise would go to Republicans. So the theory was simple: eliminate libertarians from the ballot and help GOP candidates. So this is recent news, September 12th. Arizona, I don't know what y'all are doing out there, but you have successfully knocked off the libertarians off your ballots.
That's also on their federal election?
I have to look at more of that. We can discuss that after you do our sponsor. I'm gonna keep reading while you do our sponsor. When we come back, I'll start off with the audio.
All right. When in the trucking industry, and as I've mentioned many times, it's very difficult to carry a gun, and one of the ways to defend yourself is to get a taser. There's many ways of defending yourself, but one of the things I'm really trying to help spread the news out there is the advantages of a taser. A taser is able to fire darts up to 15 feet and immobilize your attacker before your attacker even reaches you. And that's one of the big reasons why I got one, is because I don't want the attacker to be on top of me, and I'm trying to fight him off by hand. And this especially goes with if your attacker has a knife. Stabbings are becoming a real big problem. There was a stabbing up in Alaska where it was two guys that were fighting, arguing, and the one guy went to attack the other guy by choking him, and the guy luckily this one worked out where the person defending himself had a knife and stabbed the other guy. It stabbed him pretty good. Sliced him right open. His stomach was out and everything. So, and people that I don't know about you, Travis. That's one way I would not want to die, is being stabbed to death. It's very painful, I would think. So, the best way to defend yourself from a stabbing is to have a taser, and that way so that the person with the knife does not reach you. Okay, because trying to fight a person off who has a gun, has a knife, that gets very difficult. So go to truckers-defense.com and check out the tasers they have. Check out the prices, and consider defending yourself with a taser. That's truckers-defense.com. We'll be back after these messages.
The Liberty National Network.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. But every driver seeks the pinnacle of their achievements. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
You may have doubts about healthcare sharing. I know we did. We studied literature about Samaritan Ministries, but we feared that it was just too risky. Instead, as our health insurance premiums went up each year, we would increase our deductible to reduce the premium. And then the inevitable happened. We had to use our insurance. We had a medical need that included tests, doctor visits, and even outpatient surgery treatment that totaled over $7,000, and it was all out of pocket. It took us 3 years to pay off, even after several of our healthcare providers reduced their charges. And we finally took a leap of faith and joined Samaritan.
Each month, we get to give to an actual person with a medical need. We pray for them and put them in the hands of the Lord for physical, emotional, and financial strength and healing. There's no way to fully express that pleasure and joy. During the first year we were members, we had a medical need, and it was all provided for. And the strength, peace, and healing from prayer.
Last year, our son was injured on a mission trip 1,200 miles from home. And the bills for the emergency room, doctors, stitches, and prescriptions totaled $5,300. But every last cent was provided for. In fact, last year we had 2 more needs, and each time our Samaritan family came through.
I worked in healthcare for 10 years, from front desk through billing. I would recommend Samaritan instead of any insurance product out there. Insurance has no assurances. In fact, it seems everything is written in such a way that there will be no assurance at your time of need. We just wish that we had trusted in God's provision sooner.
It is such a blessing to come alongside our brothers and sisters in Christ and share in each other's healthcare burdens. And there's such a peace and joy knowing that God is answering our prayers, bringing healing and providing for our needs.
Hi, I'm Eric, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is President of Hillsdale College, Dr. Larry Arnn, on natural rights versus entitlements.
America was founded on the idea that human beings are born with natural rights, such as the rights to life, liberty, and property. A person who holds this view of rights makes no demands on others except that they respect those rights. Today, however, many Americans talk about rights to a college education, state-of-the-art medical care, and even birth control pills. These are rights understood as entitlements, and a person who holds this view of rights, far from making no demands on other people, is making claims on other people's money and resources. This understanding of rights not only sets citizens against each other, but it undermines the whole idea of natural rights.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To receive a free pocket Constitution and Declaration, go to constitutionminute.com.
Miss Producer is also known as Miss Giggles. You are listening to Political TNT on the Liberty National Network. If you want to be part of the show, dial 914-338-1906 and then press 1.
New York Senator Chuck Schumer is urging the feds to reverse a recent decision to delay regulating e-cigarettes. Schumer points to a new study that finds 20% of New York City and Long Island teens are now vaping. That's nearly twice the national average. Schumer says a new type of e-cigarette called Juul is especially popular with teens because it's easy to hide among computer supplies.
This is a flash drive. This is Juul. Teachers can't tell the difference. And this is e-cigarettes. You can charge Juul in your computer, go to the bathroom, and smoke the e-cigarette.
E-cigarettes are becoming more popular with teens and young adults as companies market sweet and fruity.
Alarm bells are ringing across California as the city of San Francisco just approved a ban on e-liquid flavors, allowing only tobacco flavoring to be sold within the city. According to vaping advocates, the San Francisco flavor ban is part of a coordinated attack targeting e-liquid flavors in multiple California jurisdictions, with more likely on the way. The state of California is waging all-out war against vaping. Home to progressive politics and experimental culture, California can also boast some of the harshest vaping restrictions in the country. In just the past couple of years, the Golden State has classified vaping as a tobacco product, rejecting all evidence pointing to its efficacy as a tool for harm reduction. It has also instituted vaping bans for public spaces and the workplace, and even in one's own vehicle if a minor is present. Perhaps most appalling, California continues to wage a multi-million-dollar misinformation campaign intended to stoke fear and galvanize public support against vaping.
There's no worry that our parents are going to find us vaping on social media. We've gotten really good at hiding it from our parents.
I know I'm underage, but it's just something that I do. I won't let it affect my future.
Hold on, I got to take another puff of my vape. So California's going all out on against vaping, huh?
Yeah. And like I've always said, you just got to follow the money.
Yep. Well, the federal government's attempting to do it too through the FDA.
Yeah.
They're also going after the sweet flavored juices.
Yeah, I've got the article here. It says FDA. This was published on September 12th, updated September 17th. Today. Uh-oh. I'm waiting for it to load up, but it looks like... All right. Colorado Springs, it's an epidemic that is sweeping the nation. Ooh, you know, I love when they use the buzzwords. It's an epidemic that is sweeping the nation. More teenagers are vaping at increased levels. The FDA is now stepping in with possibly banning all flavored e-juices. The agency announced it sent 1,100 warning letters to stores for illegally selling e-cigarettes to minors under the age of 18. 7 stores in Colorado Springs received warnings or fines for just doing that. 7-Eleven Conoco, Master Vapors, Extreme Vape Pens, 7-Eleven Shell, Quickway Foodstuffs, Circle K Store, and Alta Convenience Store Conoco. The head of the FDA called to action the largest coordinated enforcement effort in the agency's history. They are giving major e-cigarette corporations 60 days to prove their products are not targeted towards minors. If not, they may put a ban on flavored e-juices. They say the reason why more teens are vaping is because of the variety of flavors. The announcement has left vape shops on edge about the future of their businesses. When Marissa Howard, the owner of Vapor Uprising in Colorado Springs, heard the FDA's proposal, she thought it was ridiculous. She says proving to the FDA that e-cigarette companies are trying to prevent teens from vaping is very difficult, and doing it in 60 days is nearly impossible. It's an unfair amount of time. So we have 50 to 60-year-olds whose favorite flavor is cotton candy. Just because we are old people doesn't mean we don't like the things like Skittles or butterscotch. While teen vaping is up, teen cigarette usage is down. While both are not healthy options, the concern is if a ban were to be put in place for flavors, teens may go back to smoking cigarettes. 60 days.
Yeah.
They have 60 days to prove that the e-cigarettes are not, or vaping flavors are not targeting children.
How are you supposed to prove that they're not targeting children? Isn't it supposed to be the government has to prove that they are targeting children? And I've never seen any commercial advertising for children to vape or anything like that. I've never seen where children are actually being targeted. And as far as, adults, what, they think only that adults only like tobacco flavor? My wife vapes all kinds of, in fact, she goes for the, all these candy flavored vapes.
Yeah.
It's candy and chocolate flavored. She loves those too.
Yeah, we know what's really going on. The cigarette companies are in a bind. People are moving over to vaping. And it's cutting into Philip Morris's pockets.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like the government wants people to go back to smoking.
Yeah. Well, think of it like this, too. Here's something else. You remember, nationwide, they passed all them cigarette taxes.
Yep.
On packs of cigarettes and cartons of cigarettes. Some states even a whole $10 tax on cartons of cigarettes. So now instead of taxing vaping, because it's hard to tax vape because it's a liquid.
Mhm.
So now they're probably getting hurt in the pocket.
They're losing that tax money.
It's a tax. Yeah, they're losing it.
Yeah, and you say it's hard to tax vape. Yeah, it is, because you got people like my wife who makes her own. I mean, how you gonna tax vape juice when people are able to make it in their own house?
Yep.
Unless you tax the ingredients, which that would be that would cause a lot of your certain foods and medical things like the inhalers, the price of them to go up because they use the same ingredients.
Yep. So this I can always say it. Follow the money. Follow the money. That's what we're seeing right here is attack because because they're not getting money. They're not getting the revenue off the cigarettes anymore.
Right.
Just like whenever they switched over to the electric cars and stuff. What did they do with the electric cars? Oh, we're gonna start taxing electric cars too. When you pull that car up to one of them recharge stations and you hook it up, you're being taxed for it now. That they're so worried about taxes now that a lot of places are considering what do they call it, a mileage tax. When you register your vehicle every year, you got to tell them how many miles you drove, and your tax, and you'll be taxed according to it.
Yeah, in fact, apparently that's that's a debate in Illinois because Cash Jackson who is running for governor of Illinois, brought that up on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he said that he will not do a mileage tax. And I was like, a mileage tax? Wow.
Yeah, see, part of it is that the regulations that Obama put in place on how many miles per gallon these vehicles are supposed to have by end of 20, I think it was 2020 or something like that, had the lawmakers scared because with that type of mileage, they would lose revenue. See, lawmakers like those high mileage vehicles or those low mileage vehicles because you got to fill up more. When you got to fill up more, you pay more taxes. So they started looking at the mileage tax. But that's what it's all about. And by the way, as I was reading that story on the FDA, let me see if I come back up here. The head of the FDA called the action the largest coordinated enforcement effort in the agency's history. The head of the FDA. Guess who appointed the head of the FDA?
Oh, it had to have been Obama.
No. Try again.
Oh, man. It had to have been Clinton.
No. Try again.
Are you saying a Republican did it?
Yep.
Not Trump. No way.
Yep. Trump appointed Scott Gottlieb, or however you say his last name.
Oh, come on. You can pronounce it.
Gottlieb over the FDA. So this is Trump's fault.
Yep, that's what I was getting ready to say before is we do have something to blame Trump on.
Yep.
But, it really isn't shocking because the person that Trump appointed for the FMCSA said that he wasn't going to get rid of the that he was going to continue with the push with the e-logs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Trump, he's getting rid of certain regulations that he's against, but he's also continuing to push for some of the other ones.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you, 60 days, the vape companies, they'll put together a fight. They'll show up. They'll have their hearing. And here's my prediction. I'm gonna give it a prediction. I'm gonna call it a prediction because most of my predictions are never happen. So I'm gonna call it a prediction so that way it doesn't happen. But my prediction is that they're gonna shoot down their reason and say, well, that's not good enough reason. You can only sell tobacco flavors now. You got to do away with everything else.
But you know what that's going to end up doing? It's going to get more people to make their own.
Yeah. It's
but
going to do that.
Is bad because that still leaves a problem with the vape shops. And here's the thing, you got these politicians who claim they're for small business, right? These vape shops are small business. That's why the tobacco companies are able to do this and put them out of business because there's no way that these vape shops can compete, against the regulations and stuff like that. It goes right back to what Travis and I have said many, many, many times. The government, these large corporations want regulations. They want regulations because it prevents the small guy from being able to build up their business.
Yeah.
And staying business.
Yeah, there is practically almost a vape shop in every town. There's probably about 2 to 3 in every medium-sized town. In every large town, there's probably about 5 or 6 of them. I'm talking about metropolitan. There's probably about 20 of them in metropolitan areas. Okay? So, overnight, when they pass this regulation where they can only do tobacco flavor, okay, you're going to put all them people out. You're practically overnight, you're going to put all them people out of work.
Yep. And notice, when you walk around and see these vape shops, yeah, you might have some that have like 2 or 3 stores, a vape shop which has 3 stores or whatever. But if you look around, you'll notice that there's a lot of different names. These are small business owners. You don't have like Philip Morris vape shop in cross country, These are all small shops. And government wants to put them out of business. And it's not going to stop vaping anyway. It's not going to stop vaping, guys. I mean, you're not going to get rid of the vaping because, like I said, my wife makes it in our house.
Uh oh.
I know. Now they're gonna come after. They're gonna start breaking down people's doors, and it's gonna be just like the drug bust and stuff like that.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll send you and your wife some commissary.
But making your juice is amazingly simple. I mean, it's like it's common stuff. But so they're not going to get rid of the vaping, but what they're going to do is shut down these vape shops, and it will make it to where more people will end up giving up the vaping and go to cigarettes because of convenience. So congratulations, status. Smoking will return.
Yep. I mean, that's what they're wanting.
Unbelievable. Well, no. Not really. And where's this all over? Because they're suspicious that vaping may be dangerous for your health? Maybe. Out of a fear? And
they're not even talking about that. They're talking about just because kids or minors are getting a hold of it.
Well, hold on here. Now we got another thing, because you're right. Yeah, this is over minors getting a hold of vaping, right? Which is illegal, by the way. At least in most states it is. I know in Oklahoma it is. So, Travis, we need to get rid of cigarettes. Ban them. Because weren't minors and will minors still get a hold of cigarettes?
Yeah.
So apparently tobacco flavor is attracting minors. How about alcohol? Should alcohol now be banned? Because minors do get a hold of alcohol. I know that firsthand.
Hey, and they got all that, and they got that new alcohol too, Mike's Hard Liquor. That stuff is pretty good.
Oh yeah, that does taste good, and they've always had the wine. They always had the fruity flavored wine coolers. Oh man, those taste real good. fruity.
What's going to end up happening is a lot of these vape shops are going to shut down, and you're only going to be able to find vape liquids at the tobacco stores because they're not going to shut down.
Oh, no, yeah. In fact, that I do believe is part of the thing where, you know, tobacco companies are going after the vape because tobacco companies came out with the e-cigarettes a long time ago. I remember when those first came out. And they're not good tasting, and they do contain a lot of chemicals in them. But a lot of people are getting away from that and going into vaping, and so the tobacco company was losing both on both ends.
Yeah, and like I said, you know all them smoke shops that's scattered throughout every town across America.
Yeah.
Where they have everything from cigarettes to cigars to pipes and your crack pipes and your bongs, and that'll be the only place you'll be able to find the vape liquid now.
Yep. Yep, a lot of those you got to watch out for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It makes no sense at all because, I mean, the same argument they're making with children vaping is the same argument we can make about the sale of cigarettes and alcohol to minors. Same exact argument. In fact, it would be nice. We need to do this, Travis. We need to find out how many underage drinkers there are. People getting a hold of alcohol, minors. And compare that with the vaping.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen the numbers. I haven't even thought of looking that up until just now. I'm willing to say that it's going to be either pretty close to the same, or there are more children drinking than there are vaping. Because I bet you there is. I mean, to me it would make sense because, I mean, drink is a lot more, taste better, and you get to act all silly and everything, which children love doing, to impress their friends. It's a whole lot easier, to get away and to a party and stuff like that and drink. Not to mention, it's probably a lot easier to get a hold of alcohol for a minor.
Yeah.
And like that one person in that article said, that there are less children smoking. Hey, I think that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, between the two.
You want to tag in our next sponsor? We got a minute 20
Yeah,
left.
Wow. So I got to do this quick. When it comes to eating healthy, it's very hard. It's extremely hard for people to get enough the vitamins and nutrients and stuff like that. But I'm sorry, I got a little distracted here. But you can go to livepure.com/PTAT. That's Papa Tango Alpha Tango. Go there and check out their products. They got a large amount of products and they're all health boost products. The one that I'm really liking is the one called Greens. because it contains not only the super greens, but also the super fruits. And these are a select fruits where it's highly recommended they take because they contain a lot of nutrients that our bodies need. And let's face it, it's extremely hard to get the amount of fruits and vegetables that our bodies need. It's very, very difficult to do. So go to livepure.com/PTAT. Check out the products, and if you go to that website, you will get a discount on their products. That's livepure.com/PTAT. That's Papa Tango, Alpha Tango, or as Travis and I like to say, Patat. Go there now. Check them out. We'll be back after these messages.
The Liberty National Network.
Let's go inside the mind of a 10-year-old.
I should have worn those earrings today. I like those earrings. Gabby has those awesome earrings. I need to ask her where she got those, but that's just what she would want me to do. I'll have Michaela ask her for me.
Buckle up, Sarah.
Yeah, but then Michaela will be like, why don't you just ask her yourself? That's just like Michaela.
Sarah, buckle up.
Michaela's such a great name. I wish I was called Michaela. There's like a dozen Sarahs in my class.
Hey, we're not hitting the road until you buckle up, honey.
Oh yeah, seatbelt. I forget sometimes because my brain is like busy, I wonder if there's pizza at school today.
Sometimes it can be tough to get through to your kids, but it's not impossible. Always make sure they're wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Remember, you have the keys, you have the power. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Horses are non-threatening. They're a majestic, magnificent creature. We see guys and gals find a great sense of inner peace and calmness as they start listening to the breathing of the horse, and they start grooming the horse, and they start being around the horse as much. Something magical starts happening with that connection that's hard to actually put into words, but it's palpable. You can feel it. You can feel that connection.
My name is Sterling Buckles, and I was a Lance Corporal with 2nd Battalion, 1st Marines, and I was injured in Operation Iraqi Freedom. I was actually hit in the head by a sniper bullet that penetrated through my helmet and collapsed the right side of my skull, and it was just a blessing that I survived it and got medevaced right away to Baghdad, where there was an Army brain surgeon gave me brain surgery to take all the fragments of the skull out of my brain and then put in 2 titanium plates. Coming back, I was diagnosed pretty much right away with 100% PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And so, to say the least, life has been really difficult. Horses for Heroes program has been a real blessing to my life, to where now I feel like I have more of a purpose. That's a big thing coming back, is you were so important while you were serving in the military that you come back and you don't feel like you really have a purpose anymore in life, or that you're really behind the other 20-something-year-old people that, had done other choices with their lives. If I come down here and I feel really anxious and just filled with anxiety and nervous, and I spend a little bit of time with the horse, it seems like the horse calms me down and my anxiety level just starts to really drop. So you're not really caring about yourself the whole time, but you're caring about something else. Really kind of gives me a good sense of accomplishment, and at the end of the day you're tired, but it's a good tired.
Hi, I'm Corinne, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is President of Hillsdale College, Dr. Larry Arnn, on the threat of bureaucratic despotism.
One of the chief sponsors of the Dodd-Frank Finance Reform Bill called that legislation, quote, about as important as it gets, because it deals with every single aspect of our lives, end quote. And how does this legislation deal with every aspect of our lives? in the most unconstitutional way. It sets up a board called the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which has the power to regulate our economic transactions independently of both the President and Congress. In other words, permanent government employees are placed in charge of us beyond the control of those we elect, the control of we the people. This is a violation of the representative form of government without which there can be no constitutional government.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To receive a free pocket constitution and declaration, go to constitutionminute.com.
The Liberty National Network.
Travis Pope may sound like a big bad gorilla, but he is really a big cuddly teddy bear. You are listening to Political TNT on the Liberty National Network. If you want to be part of the show, dial 914-338-1906 and then press 1.
All right, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
For some reason, I missed the unmuted thing, so I didn't realize I got put back on the show already. Yeah, I was waiting for the cue. I was waiting for the cue. Hey,
yeah, so, but go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Sounds like you're about. Okay, go ahead then. Okay, go ahead then.
You're older than me, so go ahead.
But I'm also more beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm pretty.
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say is something that my wife sent me earlier, my news source. Ardmore, Oklahoma schools got in trouble. They and actually, you know, the bad thing is this is something that schools did that I was like, hey, why not, right? But I can also understand why, you know, in today's day and age, probably wasn't a good idea. What they were doing was children that were in detention, they would gave them oversized red shirts to wear and had them cleaning the school windows. And parents got mad at the school for it.
Oh, making them wear red shirts?
And cleaning the school's windows, yeah.
Wow.
In other words, they were putting they had to clean when they were in detention.
Yeah.
Then my thought was, why not, right? I mean, get in trouble, then yeah, but for you to work instead of just sitting there to think about what more trouble you can get into.
Oh, yeah, I have something better. Take them little shits out there and make them clean up the highway. There you go.
Yeah, there's one thing that a school did, and I'm like, all right, and here it is. The parents put up a fit, and the principal got in trouble.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That parents need to stay out of that. That's why we have problems with kids we have today. I mean, they're all entitled. They think, oh, I can just do this, and Mom will get me out of it, and then Pathetic.
Yeah. When your child does wrong, you're not supposed to make it easy on them. Yeah, I mean they're supposed to be punished, right? I mean that's how society works. You do something wrong, you get punished. I mean we're not preparing the kids for adulthood. We're not.
No, we're making them entitled little brats and giving them participation trophies, and sending them out in the world, and they become Antifa members.
Yeah, or they're the ones that you see on these court shows, acting like a stupid idiot, not realizing what they did wrong. Or you see on these cop shows where, they've obviously done something wrong, and they're fighting the police. And I'm like, what gives you the right to do this stuff? I mean, you're in court because you hurt somebody, and you don't realize what you did wrong, and you're fighting with the judge, and you're fighting with the police when obviously you did something wrong. I mean, it's not one of these questionable things I'm talking about where I am yelling at the screen because the police officer is doing something. I'm like, why are you searching that or whatever?
Yeah.
Or they're fighting the boss. Oh man, something I saw. A guy got fired and he destroyed an aircraft because he got fired. I'm like, now that was real brilliant, because now, you get fired, you can go and get another job, right? I mean, now you are a felon because you just destroyed a very expensive aircraft. How stupid. And this is what we're raising, these kids, that's what they're going to grow up doing. They're going to be in trouble all their life.
Well, speaking of entitled and troubled teens, you hear what's going on in North Carolina right now, didn't you?
No, what?
The looting has started. They're looting
Family
Dollar. And they're just looting everything, man. They're just looting everything. And you know what? And keeping up with what you're talking about not getting in any trouble. You know what the managers of these stores have said to the police officers?
What's that?
You won't believe this. I'm telling you, you won't believe this. The managers of the stores told them not to. The managers of these stores told them not to arrest them, not to interfere.
What? Oh shit! I mean, they're just destroying your store. They're stealing your stuff, and you say, "Oh, go ahead and let them."
Yeah.
That makes no sense. I mean, don't get me wrong, people. I mean, they have every right to do that. I mean, if you want to get robbed and you want to get stolen and, your stuff stolen, you want your house to be destroyed, your store to be destroyed, I mean, you have every right to tell the police, no, I'm not going to, press it. You have that right. But why?
Yeah, but here's something else here's something else I want to know. I've looked and I can't find anything, but I can't find anything where this come down from the heads up in the CEO and the main office. These are store managers that are saying this.
Well, that could be a problem because if I'm not, I don't think those are franchised out. I think those are owned by, in fact, I know General Dollar is owned by the corporation because you have to, because everything is ordered by the corporation, because I used to haul for them. So I think that there would be an issue with the corporation.
Yeah, let me see if there's been. Let me see if there's
Well, it would also be good to know, Travis, another on that same thing there. I'm sure that school discipline thing led right into this perfectly. Well, also would be interesting is there a statement by these managers on why they're not pressing charge? Why don't they want the police to? I mean, did they make any kind of statement or anything?
I'm looking to see if there's any updates.
Because that does have me wondering. I mean, if your whole philosophy is, well, I'm going to go ahead and let them have the stuff and all that, I mean, it's really not the manager's right to do that. I know if I owned a corporation, my manager did that, I'd be like, okay, you're paying for that now. You wanted to feed the looters? You're paying for it. Because that's not the manager's call.
Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to see.
But this is what we're raising our kids to do. Is we're raising these kids to act without not worry about the consequences. We're basically raising a bunch of animals, because that's what animals do. They'll act without consequences. Think about the consequences of their actions. And that's very dangerous for humans. As I've stated time and time again, humans are only think of themselves. This is human nature. And a lot of what does keep us in line is, the thinking of, okay, if I misbehave, if I do something selfish, if there's going to be consequences. And especially when you're raising children like that. Because then you're going to grow up with the childish attitudes. And that's what we have. We have a lot of adults who have childish attitudes. Look at these protests and stuff that go on anymore. Burning down a whole city. The looting and all that stuff, that's always going. I thought, everybody saw this coming. Everybody saw the looting was going to be coming. It seems to happen after during every storm. Which I believe that's why a lot of people don't want to leave. Is because that possibility is because they know there's going to be looting.
Yeah. I'm sitting here pulling up. Wilmington Police. We are aware of the looting occurring at the Family Dollar store at 13th and Greenland Streets. Unfortunately, management has asked us not to intervene at this time. Assistant Police Chief Mitch Cunningham said officers were talking with the owners, who initially said he didn't want to pursue charges when they arrived on the scene. Cunningham said officers consulted with the district attorney and the owners ultimately agreed to. Okay, now they have agreed to press charges.
The district attorney probably said, "Hey, you do realize that you do not have that authority, right?"
Yeah. Well, what I think what happened is that they got with the district attorney and was talking to them, and they probably broke it down with them and said, "Look, if you allow this to go on, then they can think they can do it everywhere else. You can't allow. Look, you can't allow lawlessness." In times of problems like this, in times of, you think the looting is bad now? You wait until the currency crash happens.
Yeah.
You wait until they can't get money they can't get the money out of the bank. You wait until people can't get their food stamps. You wait until people don't get nothing. You can't allow people to think it's okay to loot. You can't allow lawlessness in the face of disaster. And that's what they was doing. Oh, we just got hit by a hurricane. Go ahead and let them loot it. They need it. Half the stuff they don't need in that Family Dollar. If you've ever been into a Family Dollar store, yeah, they have a few foods there. They have a few cold items and food. But 90% of the other stuff they have in a Family Dollar, Dollar General, Dollar Store, Dollar Tree is junk. I hate even going into them places because they just got crap laying everywhere. And you're like trying to squeeze between boxes. You walk into that place, you just don't want to kick boxes out of your way just so you can walk through the aisles. It's nothing but a junk house. But you can't allow lawlessness to prevail in the face of disaster. That set the precedent for all the other things. People think, well, I did it here. Why don't we do it there? What about the gun store? Oh, you done set the precedents over all this stuff. So now they're going to loot and destroy a gun store. You cannot allow this stuff. Just like we was talking about the school. You can't allow these people to do that in schools. There has to be consequences to lawlessness. These are not victimless crimes. When you're breaking in, okay, look, I'm all for pardoning people of victimless crimes, okay? But breaking in and looting a store is not a victimless crime. You're hurting people. Okay, you break in. Okay, you're going, okay, I'm sticking it to the man. Well, you know what they turn around and do? They raise the prices on that stuff, and they hit you right back with it. And not just you, but everybody else that did not partake into that looting. Just to gain their revenue back that y'all stole.
Yeah, that's and see, I mean, even that sticking it to the man type thing. Let me tell you guys something. These stores and stuff, and what's that is they always seem to do it with the small stores. You know, these stores and stuff. You know, that you're looting, you're hurting your community is what you're doing. You know, because even if you do a corporation type thing, sticking it to the man, you got to think about all the employees and everyone that works there too. You know, and I just can't wrap my mind around why a manager would even consider such a thing. You know, to say we're not going to go after these guys. That's not even your place.
I bet they'd go after them if they shoplifted. What's the difference?
There is no difference. There is no difference. I mean, are you thinking you're helping out people who are hurt by the hurricane? Those looters are hurt by the hurricane. They're taking advantage of it. I mean, here's what you do. I mean, I'm going to take a leap here and give benefit of doubt to the managers. Maybe there's some bleeding heart liberal that thinks, hey, you know, the community should have access to stuff. You know, if someone comes in and grabs the stuff during the hurricane, everybody's hurting and everything. But let's just take a little leap here, you know, train our brains to try to figure out what was going through their brains. Why not? I mean, if you wanted to do such a thing and help out the community, allowing the looters to have access and just grab whatever they want out of your store is not helping out the community. In fact, that's hurting it because those looters are, 9 times out of 10, those looters are bad people. How about do what I've seen some like Walmarts and Lowe's and some of the other places that are in hurricane areas do? And that is now you have to clear it with the big guys, but, you know, donate the stuff to organizations that help rebuild your community. That would have been great. But I see we're running out of time. Please check out our website, ptat.show. That's Papa Tango Alpha Tango.show. Go there and check out our website. I've made lots of changes. What was it? Not this past weekend, but the previous weekend. I've made several changes to it. I've added a page that lists all of the places where our podcasts are played. And if you click on those, the pictures of the podcast, like Stitcher and Spreaker and YouTube, if you click on those, then it will take you right to our podcast. That will make it so much easier for you guys to find us. If you missed this show or any other show, or you just want to catch up, maybe you just discovered us, go there and go through all of our shows and listen to whatever you want, whenever you want, on any device that you have. Also on there you'll see our sponsors, and you'll also get lots of updates. You'll also find out when our show is aired live, so that you can listen to us live and be able to call into the show. But if you listen to any of our podcasts, please make your comments. Feel free to comment whatever you want, and you might be lucky and we'll actually read your comments on the air. Also, give us a thumbs up. A thumbs up on those podcasts boosts our ratings. So please do that. Our next show will be on Wednesday, 0900.
No, we still got 30 minutes. We just got to go to break.
Oh, man, I lost track of time. We'll be back after these messages. Let me get some coffee.
The Liberty National Network.
Where do you want to go to lunch? I'm having a stroke. Did you hear what I said? I'm having a stroke. Why aren't you answering me? I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The oldest existing human that we know of is the 5,300-year-old body of a man, frozen in ice, that was uncovered by climbers in the Italian Alps in 1991. His name is Ötzi, the Iceman, and aside from being extremely well preserved, he was remarkable for another reason: the 61 tattoos that adorned his body. For as long as we've been on the planet, humankind has marked their bodies to commemorate important events, imply meaning, or signify value. Everything from a sailor's inscription of a lost lover's name to the tribal markings of indigenous peoples denoting a ceremony or achievement reminds us that using permanent markings can be one of the clearest ways to show what's meaningful to us. As it turns out, we aren't the only ones who do this. God does too. Listen to this powerful verse in Isaiah. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. That verse is part of a passage where God reminds his people that he has not forgotten them, even during an extended period of captivity. And while the most important part may seem to be the fact that God has engraved or tattooed the name of his people on his body, it's worth considering where that engraving occurs: his hands. A lot has changed in the lives of human beings over the years, but we still use our hands for nearly every daily task imaginable. We look at them hundreds, maybe even thousands of times each day. The implication here is powerful, that our names are never out of God's sight. I want us to think about that. If your own life's commitments were to be written on your hands, what would they be? Work, school, your career? Or would they be the names of people in your life, family members, friends, and those inside or outside of your church community? It's often easy to lose sight of what matters amidst the hustle and bustle of our lives, but I think this verse and the principle it embodies ought to be a powerful reminder to all of us of two things: to put first things first in our lives, and remind us of our Heavenly Father's love for us. I want you to picture his hands right now, the same hands that knit the galaxies together, and then picture your own name, tattooed in his skin. Powerful, isn't it? Our God has marked us into his heart as permanently as ink sets into our skin. We are always in his mind, always in his eyes, and always in his heart. I'm Joseph Tkach, speaking of life.
Hi, I'm Joy, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is President of Hillsdale College, Dr. Larry Arnn, on why the Constitution limits government.
James Madison writes in Federalist 51 that men are not angels. Their passions and self-interest often get the better of their reason and sense of justice. So we need government in order to protect our rights against those who would take them away. But for the same reason, Madison writes, government must be limited, because people in government have passions and interests too. Many Americans today forget this, supposing that we can do away with constitutional limits on government, supposing that the unelected bureaucrats being put in charge of our health care, for example, will rule as if they are angels. If Madison was correct about human nature, this is foolish and dangerous.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To receive a free pocket Constitution and Declaration, Go to constitutionminute.com.
The Oklahoma Tomcat thinks he is a big tough cat, but he is actually as harmless as a kitten. You are listening to Political TNT on the Liberty National Network. If you want to be part of the show, dial 914-338-1906 and then press 1.
To our show, we're bringing up our last 30 minutes, and you know what? I have a little rant that I want to do. Okay. There's this Democrat in Texas, a liberal Democrat, Beto O'Rourke. They call him Beto. He stole a name. He's got a lot of criminal background. Drunk driving, assault, stuff like that. And he's running for Ted Cruz's seat. But let me tell you something, Beto. Stop freaking texting me. And stop texting my wife. Stop texting my friends. Stop texting everybody, because everybody's freaking sick and tired of you sending text messages. We are not voting for you. Told you over and over and over to stop. And 2 or 3 weeks later, we get more text messages. Take us off your do not text list. We don't care about you. You're fake. You're liberal. You're trash. Go back to the hole you crawled out of. You know, when people tell me Beto 1 and Beto 2. You know what Beto 1 and Beto 2 is in Texas? They're prison units. I think we lost the Oklahoma Tomcat. Or he might be getting him something to drink, because he's kind of off in the head a little bit. But don't tell him I said that. Y'all hear me? Don't y'all tell him that. But anyways, we're at our last half hour of the show, and we've covered quite a bit of stuff in here. Truck drivers, be careful while you're driving in the Carolinas and hurricane-affected areas. Well, one, you got looters, you got lawlessness running rampant. Y'all be safe going out there. If you can't carry a firearm because of your business, your company that won't allow you to, do go check out truckers-defense.com and get you a taser and carry it with you. Don't take unnecessary risks for that load. On the last half hour, we was talking about the looters and stuff and the lawlessness. And we was trying to figure out the manager, the owner's head, who said not to press charges. And since this is the trucking section, I can't help but think back to last year when the hurricane hit Florida, where a truck driver pulled before the hurricane hit Florida. The truck driver pulls up to, I think, a Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that down there. And he gave his load to the locals there. He just unstrapped it and gave the load away so he could get out of there. And he got fired for it. He got fired for giving that load away. Well, I don't see no different in what he did the looters are doing. It wasn't his product to give away. Now, his heart might have been in the right place, but his pocket money sure wasn't. Because not only did he lose his job, but his company had to pay either out of pocket or the insurance company had to pay for that load to be given. Now, I heard the Oklahoma Tomcat pop in there for a second. I guess he disappeared again. But that's the way I see it. Stealing is stealing. If the product is not yours, you don't have a right to it. I guess I scared the Oklahoma Tomcat away.
I'm back. What's this with me, that you were talking about me earlier?
I didn't say a thing. You can't prove it.
I heard you.
You can't prove it.
Here, let me cut that piece out and save it for later. We'll talk about this. Hey, isn't it easy to be charitable with other people's money? As you were talking about that trucking, what that truck driver did, and we just got done talking about the managers at the store, something popped in my mind. They're learning to do this from our government. It's very easy to be charitable with other people's money. You know, look at all these government programs and stuff, and you know how mostly the Democrats, but Republicans are guilty of doing it too. Will be like, oh, we have to help out the poor. You know, and they even make it into a Christian thing, which nowhere in the Bible does it say, you know, that paying your taxes, you're being charitable. You know, you know, when I hear that truck driver and when I hear these managers, you know, and I'm assuming, of course, we're assuming with the managers that their heart may have been in the right spot, just their actions were wrong. You can't be charitable with other people's money. This goes to status. This goes to truck drivers. This goes to managers. You know, this goes to the cashier that says, "Oh, don't worry about it." You know, you cannot be charitable with other people's money. If you're gonna, this is not. You know, you might feel good. But what you did is not good. If you're going to be charitable with your own money and your own time. That's where it counts.
But it's so much easier just to be charitable with other people's stuff.
It takes no effort at all to steal from Bob and give it to Jane, right? It takes nothing from yourself. That's not giving of yourself. That's not. It's meaningless. You know, it reminds me of a story that I've heard and I've told many times. You have, let's just give them a couple of names. John and Bob going down the street. You know, two friends walking down the street, and Bob sees a homeless guy begging for money. And he feels bad, and he wants to do something for that homeless guy. So he goes to John and says, "Give me $10." John gives him $10, and then Bob gives the $10 to the homeless guy. Who gave to the homeless guy? Was it the guy who grabbed the money from his friend and gave it to him, or was it his friend that gave it to him? You see, if what you're doing takes no effort from yourself, you did nothing. You didn't do a darn thing.
Oh, breaking news.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Trump orders declassification of surveillance applications, release of Comey texts. President Donald Trump has moved to immediately release the former FBI Director James Comey's text messages and declassify 20 pages of surveillance applications that targeted former campaign advisor Carter Page. His latest offensive against a Russia investigation that has ensnared associates and has consumed Trump's attention for much of his presidency. The breadth of the order came as a surprise and landed amid a full-court White House effort to shore up the Supreme Court nomination of Judge Brett Kavanaugh as he defends himself against sexual assault allegations. Trump demanded that the FBI produce 20 pages of the surveillance applications, which Republicans on Capitol Hill have suggested would help show anti-Trump bias at the highest levels of the FBI. So Trump has ordered declassification of all the documents.
Hmm.
You know, he ain't gonna do that unless he's completely innocent. That if that right there can cause a lot of people to get in trouble that has been anti-Trump.
Yeah. You know it's not gonna change anything.
Well, not with the liberals. They'll just say it's all fake anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. You know, that whole thing that in that, it talks about, with the nomination that whole thing with Kavanaugh or whatever you call him. The Supreme Court hearing thing. Yeah, him. You love when I do that, don't you?
Yeah.
That whole sexual allegation thing. That I was listening to more of that this morning, and Democrats, or especially that one senator, held on to that letter all this time and brings it up right when the hearings are over. And now she came out. I heard this morning she came out, the girl that's accusing him of, originally it was just
anonymous.
Him trying to, yes, she was being anonymous, and originally the story was that he actually didn't rape her or anything, It was just a sexual misconduct or something like that.
Yeah.
But now she's saying that he actually pinned her down and tore her clothes off and everything. So she now stepped it up. Seriously, this didn't come out before.
Yeah, it's all stupid fake stuff. What right now in the middle of the Me Too movement age, you bring up a sexual allegation to any of them, bam, you done cut everything out of them. You done ruined their career.
Yeah,
and
even
this is where,
with this.
Yeah, this is where I say that if all these allegations turn out to be false, then she should receive the same punishment that he would have got if he done it.
Yeah. Which, the FBI even looked in, and from what I heard, they they're not even pursuing nothing. It's very it makes no sense. First of all, he's got a lot of women backing him up that went to high school with him, that actually signed letters, talk about what type of guy he was in high school. That there's no way he could have done this.
Many
that
of
just
them were
one
women.
girl with no even a witness has said that he didn't do nothing. That was apparently at this party or wherever it took place. That he didn't do nothing. But yet none of that's going to matter. It's just going to be, she cried rape, therefore we must consider it's true. That's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. And you Democrats, this is where it really this whole thing really irritates me, because the same thing with the whole racism thing. You guys are making it very difficult for women who are actually sexually assaulted and raped. You guys are. It's going to be just like with the whole racism thing. You cry racism, and people are like, oh, we've heard that many times before. When here, somebody that is a victim of actual racism cries racism, it's just, oh, we've heard that many times. You're doing the same thing with something that's very serious, because, rape is a serious thing. It is. You have a true victim in rape. But you guys are going to numb the society over it for what? Your own political gain. And let me ask you something. If you're raped, why would you write a letter to the senator? Why was the senator the one that ended up breaking the news?
Yeah,
Travis, if somebody victimizes you, who do you go to? Do you write a letter to your senator?
Months and months ago. She didn't write the letter just now. This letter has been in. Dianne Feinstein has had this letter for months.
Yeah, I know. Which that says a lot right there. See, that's exactly it. No, you don't write a letter to your senator. Look at what happened here. Senator Feinstein or Frankenstein sat on it and didn't break it out. Listen, if Senator Frankenstein would have brought that letter up right away during the hearings, so that Kavanaugh guy would have been able to address it during the hearings, that would have, I would have still called foul on the whole thing, but at least that would have looked better, right? It would have looked a little bit better, because then at least you're bringing it up at appropriate time for a hearing, and give him chance to be able to answer to it. But he didn't even do that.
No, not even that. She should have brought it up when she first got the letter months ago, before he was even picked for Supreme Court. She had to know.
First, if we go right to the root, first of all, she shouldn't have even gotten the letter. If you're going to cry rape, you do not write your senator in the first place. This was all done for political purposes, no doubt. Every little piece of it points to it.
Yeah, that's why it's fake. That's why it's fake.
Yeah.
It never happened. It never happened.
You go to the police if you've been victimized. In this case, go to the FBI. You don't write a letter to that was. I'm sorry. She wasn't raped. If she was, she's just now using it for a political purpose. That's it. Oh, wow. Shocking. She's a Democrat.
When did this supposed to have happened?
Back when they were in high school.
Where in high school?
50. I heard it this morning. I did not remember what high school they went to. Let me see.
Maryland.
Okay, yeah. Isn't Frankenstein out of California?
Well, it happened in Maryland, but the chick in Kavanaugh is in California now. So
okay.
Let's see. Looking up something real quick. 300 days.
Good.
300 days. 300 days is the statute of limitations for that. 3 years
Yeah,
from the
so
event.
I mean,
yeah. In childhood sexual. Wait. In childhood sexual abuse cases, since they were in high school together when this happened, 7 years from the victim's 18th birthday is the statute of limitations for this.
Yeah, that's something else that popped up in my mind this morning. I completely forgot about until you brought up the statute of limitation. Do you guys ever wonder why there's a statute of limitation? The whole reason for it is because the human memory is not that good. I mean, you take, and they've done the study many times. You know, they've had people write a short little diary of an event that just happened, and then they hold that for several years and then question the person on it again. And it's amazing how much more exaggerated the event turned out. You know?
Yeah, and
that's how our minds work.
Yeah, they're supposed to report that within 72 hours of the act. Oh, 19 seconds. 1 minute. We got 1 minute left. Man.
All right. All right. Well, I've already gone through our whole PPAT thing, so that's good.
Yeah, I was sitting here looking up the statute of limitations whenever the computer screamed at me. 1 minute left.
1 minute. Well, you'll have a very good day. And remember, be charitable, but not with other people's money. Okay? Just don't do that. That's not being charitable.
And we will talk to y'all Wednesday. We'll be on Wednesday, and our producer should be
Wednesday morning
on too. Yes,
yep.
Wednesday morning, bright and early.
Yep. Y'all take care.